And they also found that people who had a strong belief in positive manifestation, they more often had to declare bankruptcy. For every additional point on the manifestation scale, the risk for bankruptcy was 40% higher. How strong do you agree with the following? Visualizing a successful outcome causes it to be drawn closer to me. What do you say? On a scale from 1 to 7, 1 meaning strongly disagree and 7 meaning strongly agree. What's your opinion on this statement? The average answer was 4.8. So on average, people seem to agree more than they disagree. And if you take a look at social media trends, you see that this belief in positive manifestation seems to have become stronger than ever. But the big question is, does it really work? And if it really worked like all the gurus told you, then people who believe in it, they probably should earn, for example, a higher income, shouldn't they? Well, surprisingly, when the scientists correlated the belief in manifestation with income, they found nothing. They did not find anything. The correlation was close to zero, and if at all, it was more negative than positive. And they also found that people who had a strong belief in positive manifestation, they more often had to declare bankruptcy. For every additional point on the manifestation scale, the risk for bankruptcy was 40% higher. And the reason for that might be that they also tend to believe that they can get rich very fast and that they can get successful very fast. And another problematic finding was that they also tend to believe that not only if you have positive thoughts, they might manifest, they also have this negative thought-action fusion, which means that if you have a negative thought, it also might turn into reality. So for example, if you have the thought or the daydream of hurting somebody or maybe even killing somebody, this causes a lot of anxiety because you think you might actually do it. And this is problematic because it makes you afraid of your own thoughts, and sometimes this can be the beginning, for example, for an OCD. People with OCDs, they sometimes have the belief that if they have the thought that they might do something evil to somebody, this might mean that they will act on that. But of course, it's a delusion, because before something like this turns into reality, you first have to be motivated to do so. But the scientists also found that not everything is bad about the belief in positive manifestation, because it also correlates with hope. And hope is very important, especially for people who are depressed. They often feel very hopeless. But all the results we just talked about have one strong weakness. They are just correlations. And therefore, a line of experiments conducted by Gabriele Oettingen is extremely interesting. She could show that if people actively indulge in positive fantasies, it makes them in the first place quite happy. In fact, depressive symptoms seem to go down. And it's no wonder if I make myself the best pictures I can imagine, if I imagine myself with the dream partner, with all the money I can dream of, in a dream house with the perfect car, and the world is in peace, we have solved all the climate problems, and it's all just a peaceful and perfect world. And of course, this is also the reason why all these advice books and all these gurus are so successful. It makes you feel good, at least for a moment. But there is a big but. Oettingen and her colleagues could show that only after a month in one of her studies, people who had created all these positive fantasies had become more depressed. And the reason is probably that indulging in these positive fantasies tells your brain, well, I have reached my goal. I am now in this perfect world. And we know it from many studies. The moment you imagine something, the activity in your brain is almost the same as actually experiencing it in reality. So positive fantasies, manifestations, as fantastic as they might feel in the beginning, unfortunately make people more passive, and they don't do what they have to do to reach their goals, because their brain thinks, well, I'm already at my goal, I don't have to do anything else. And in the long run, because you have become passive and you are not really following your goals, in the long run, it can make you more depressed. And a great demonstration of this is an experiment in which students who had to take an exam in the future were told, well, just imagine that you will get a perfect grade in this exam, and imagine how this perfect grade will make you feel. But another group was told, well, just imagine what you have to do to get a really good grade in this exam. So they were told, well, focus your energy, focus your positive fantasies on the process. For example, what kind of learning strategies you might have to use, or how you have to structure all the learning stuff. And again, those who had imagined, well, I will get the perfect grade, but they did not focus on what they have to do to get the perfect grade, well, those received the worst results. And the reason is they just did not learn as much. Probably, again, because their brain had anticipated, well, I already achieved my goal. Of course, not everything is bad about dreaming big, but the belief that just by dreaming big, you will receive all the positive results and you don't have to do anything else but dreaming big and have all these positive fantasies, and you will attract, just by believing in your dreams and visualizing your dreams, you will attract this positive future. It doesn't work. But what works is a more realistic perspective. You need your dreams, you need your goals, but you also have to know, well, I also have to do the work. And it's the same with me and my social anxiety in earlier days. I bought a lot of advice books and I sat there probably for 3 to 5 years and I was reading all the books, and they made me feel really good because there were all these positive scenarios. Just imagine how the future will be. You will find your dream partner and all this bullshit. It only got better as soon as I really became active.